Bugonia comes in at 86% on the tomato meter, 84 by the audience, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, director of such films as The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, and Poor Things. And it tells the tale of Emma Stone, who plays this high-end corporate CEO that ends up getting kidnapped by two individuals who believe that she's some kind of alien sent to conquer Earth. So, very interesting premise. And from the director of The Lobster, you know that this movie has potential to be extremely abstract. And without a doubt, it is abstract. But that's what I kind of enjoyed about it. Because it deals with this aspect of conspiracy. Is it all a conspiracy? Is she really an alien? And it teases you with that along the way. Like, are these guys actually telling the truth? Or are they so crazy and believing in these conspiracy theories that, they're not to be trusted? So they tease you with information along the way of the story where it's kind of like, well, I kind of believe that. But then they do things like cut off her hair because, well, she can use that hair to communicate with her mother ship. This is really weird subject matter, man. But I'm enjoying it. And that's what Bugonia is sort of going to be like for some people. You have to be aware that at times that we can't exactly trust everything that we're seeing because there's that Yorgos Lanthimos aesthetic. If you've seen Poor Things, then you know he's got like this far out style that's very art house, and it's delivered to you in that style. So I like this film. I felt like it conveyed everything that it was trying to do. The standouts, the acting from Emma Stone for sure, but then she bounces off Jesse Plemons here, where he's playing this conspiracy kind of guy, where he's like, you sense that maybe he's not all together up here, and there's flashbacks with his past that make you question his sanity, and it's all fairly well crafted. And it's one of those things where I came out of the theater with a big smile on my face. It gives you the answers. It gives you the answers to the questions that you may have. Are they crazy? Is she really an alien? What's really going on here? And when it goes into that mode of giving you all the answers, it's going to be possibly off-putting for some people, but it's just, I felt like we were already in the realm of so bizarre. It worked for me, and I had a good, pleasant experience with this film. Let's go to the score sheet and fill in some numbers before we go back to the tomato meter and look at some of the audience and critics' scores. So, acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point. So, as I said, Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons bring it. So that's 2 performances right there. Is it Oscar-worthy? I think it is. Because there's an ensemble here. The gentleman who plays the other character, kidnapper in this, also does a fantastic job, played by Aidan Delbis, playing Don there. So there's 2 of them, and it's kind of like you can tell that Jesse Plemons is the leader, right? He's telling them what to do, but then there's this other person that's unsure, and he can tell that he's just kind of like the lackey. So there's some good material there that they're bouncing around, and they use that to the best of their advantages to make you not exactly trust everybody. And because of that acting, I gotta give a full 2 points. Directing here, let's take a look at the technical aspects. The cinematography and sound design were excellent, and the execution of the story, I think, was actually fairly well done too. If there's anything that I would criticize about the story execution, is that maybe perhaps there was a little too much seeds of doubt placed. Like there's a few storylines where it feels like this could be a really big story thread, but it's not really meant to be like that. And I'll explain a little bit. It has to do with the sheriff kind of thing, right? So that's a minor thing, and I reserve the right to come back to that and bump that up to a full 2 points. But the story here, it's got an interesting premise. If you like this conspiracy thing about aliens being here and are they really controlling us to enslave us, or what's really going on here, I'm going to give that a full 1.5 as well. And I like the ending. Like, this is a movie that doesn't hide the answers from you. It actually almost gives it to you straight up right away in the beginning. If you're keen on trying to crack these stories of mystery, then I think this will be your bag. Cinematography is definitely a full point because, as I said, he uses these interluding shots of like Earth from afar to like throw you off. Is that really from outer space? What's going on here? And it's a method to throw you off the game, kind of thing, to play with you as an audience member, and that's what he's doing here. He's playing with your imagination, and I dig that a lot. The score complemented the movie fairly well. I'll give that a full point as well. So we're sitting at a 7 out of 10 right now for Bugonia, and I want to just touch on the cinematography here just for a quick second. As you can see, the aspect ratio is not full wide cinematic. It's a more thinner based like old school television screen aspect ratio, which is fine. Go see this on the big screen if you can, because it doesn't make a difference. The shots are well framed, as you can see here. The color palette is effective, and I just feel like he shot it in such a way that it showcased the actors. Because you've heard me say so many times before, one of the best things you can do is just, if you've got a good script and you've got really good actors, just turn the cameras on and let them go to it. And I think that's what he does for the most part in a couple of these movies, in a couple of the scenes, because it's just her locked in the basement and they've got to fire off this dialogue and it keeps you engaged. And that's why I think this is fairly effective. What some of the critics are saying. A careering exercise in mid-ranking Yorgozoia that just about justifies its many indulgences. We should remain grateful that a talented so odd remains somewhere adjacent to the mainstream, Irish Times says. Movie Freak didn't like it, huh? I found Bugonia to be an unrelentingly miserable journey into pessimistic darkness. It's viscerally sardonic malice more than I could bear. So if you are somebody that's not into the conspiracy theories, because if you're not, and they kind of like torture her, so it is like, okay, that's why I'm saying that if you've watched Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is somebody being tortured to great lengths, and that made you feel uncomfortable, this movie's not going quite that far, but it does take the elements of that for sure. In Yorgos Lanthimos' End of the World as We Know It, it might just be fine. Yes. Audience reactions. Definitely not a comedy. I like the way they wrapped it up. Yeah, they do wrap it up. And I would say it's got comedic things about it, for sure. Because it's just so far out there. You're like, come on, guys. Are you really going to accuse her of masterminding some great empire? Like, and I don't mean her business empire. I mean like some space colony or something like that, right? And they've got drawings of the spaceship, and it's like, no. Nicole says it was just meh. A lot of slow parts. So again, if you are not a cinephile, that sounds like somebody who's not a cinephile, right? Who just doesn't watch a lot of movies. But you can see from the scores here, critics are liking it. Certified fresh, 84% by the popcorn meter. Then a lot of people are also having positive reactions to this. Rebecca, excellent acting by Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. Interesting storyline and plot twist. Yes, there are plot twists. As I said, they tease you along the way, and they do give you the answers. So that's going to be one of the things where if this movie comes out on streaming, I think we might have to do a watch along with this, because I'll be wanting to accent and highlight some of these choices that have been made here. Wow, I'm talking about this as if it's one of my favorite movies of the year. And maybe it is, because I'm just like, there's so much value in here as a film. Okay, so somebody who didn't like it. Worst money in years. I think you mean movie. I am 45 years old, embarrassed to stay to the end of this bad movie. Nothing makes sense, horrible, feel like I wasted precious time of my life going to watch. Now, see, that's just somebody who's not paying attention. And this is not a deep film like Inception or Tenet, where if you're not paying to the little bit of nuances in here. No, this is a movie that plays it, well, fairly straight up. Is she an alien or isn't she? Let's take a look at some of the clues. We'll have some flashbacks in here. Is there some other allegory going on here? And if you're not paying attention, you're not looking at the movie. If you're sadly typing away on this, then yeah, you're going to have a reaction like this gentleman over here who says that it was the worst movie. Because you're just not paying attention. You just don't care. And if you're going to movies that you just don't care about and you're giving them the money, okay, fine. That's on you. That's on you, Omar. All right. So you got the impressions there. Let's go back to the score sheet and wrap this up for the watchability factor. That comes out at 2 points. If you like Emma Stone, you'll want to watch this movie. If you like Jesse Plemons, you want to check this out. If you are a Yorgos Lanthimos fan, then you want to check this out. If the premise alone, yeah, it's just like, okay, I got to see what this is about. Then I would say go out and check this out. And I will definitely be wanting to watch this again. So I'm sitting at 8.5 for Bugonia. And would I actually add this to my catalog? This is going to be one where I could revisit this over and over again, because this movie has scenes in it where you can watch it just for the acting. Okay, this scene is on TV. I'm just going to watch these two chip away at each other. This is just so good. I'm going to watch that scene. And other movies that are like that are like Godfather, Heat, like Star Wars. I want to watch that scene. And this movie's going to have has that aspect to it where I want to watch that scene. And it'd be like, okay. And then as an overall experience, I think Yorgos is a very interesting filmmaker, very interesting storyteller, the way that he unfolds things. So yeah, I'm comfortable with a 9 out of 10 for Bugonia. What do you guys think? Did you see the movie? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. It's sitting at a 7.7 out of 10 on the IMDb. It comes in just under 2 hours, and you don't really feel that 2 hours because it just, once again, it teases you with things, and it's keeping that ball rolling. Thumbs up for Bugonia, 9 out of 10. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains.